Hey, it's your Little Bethlehem cult girl here. So apparently Little Bethlehem is having another moment on TikTok. I've seen videos, I've read the comments, I've gotten messages, text messages, phone calls, you name it. So yes, I have been working on the podcast. It's called Little Bethlehem Cult or Culture. I've been working a lot behind the scenes, researching, writing, gathering stories, and figuring out exactly how I want to tell this thing. And I finally made one big decision. This time the podcast is going to be audio first. At some point, I would love to turn it into a full-blown documentary, and I will, but right now, I'm producing this myself, and audio gives me the time and the freedom to go deeper and actually get the story out instead of spending the next year trying to produce a whole documentary from my office. And so far, I have not heard from Netflix. So, Netflix, if you're watching, call me. I do know that it's time to get this story out into the world, and that's what I'm going to do. But for those of you who remember my first attempt at this podcast, this one's going to be a little different. Because I'm a little different. But we'll talk about that later. But since everybody's talking about Little Bethlehem again, I figured this is a really good time to clear up a few things. First, whether you're related to me, you're a former member of Little Bethlehem, you grew up around it, in it, you live close to it, or you're just here because the internet and TikTok sent you down a really weird rabbit hole, I want to make something clear. This is my project. This was my idea, and I'm the person behind it. So don't waste your time throwing stones at other people, texting my dad, calling family members, or trying to figure out who's really behind the podcast. Let me save you some time and energy. Hey, it's me. Woo-woo. I'm Christy Pike Nelson. So if you've got something to say about the podcast, you found the right person. My grandfather founded Little Bethlehem. I grew up there, and this is part of my family's history, but it's also part of my story because guess what? I'm also one of the owners of Little Bethlehem now. So there's that. And that's a totally different story. Let's just say it involves family, millions of dollars, a loan, a federal investigation, an alleged Ponzi scheme, the SEC getting involved, and a legal and financial saga that, believe it or not, is still unfolding. You really couldn't make some of this stuff up. Sometimes I can't even believe this is my life, but I love it. I digress. When I tell you there's more to the Little Bethlehem story than what's floating around online, I mean it. And this time I'm going to tell it differently. The first time I started working on the podcast, I think I was trying so hard to tell the story honestly, but without upsetting anybody, that I was editing myself before I ever even opened my mouth. Not going to do that this time. I'm still going to be fair. I'm still going to be kind because that's who I am. And I absolutely respect the fact that different people experienced Little Bethlehem very differently. There were beautiful things that happened there. There were painful things that happened there. There are things I remember one way that somebody else may remember completely differently. And I get that. There are things I'm still learning myself. But I'm going to tell the truth as I know it. I'm going to ask uncomfortable questions. I'm going to talk about the good, the bad, and the downright bizarre. And I'm going to be honest about my own family too. And the church members. Because this is my story to tell. And it just so happens that I don't need permission to tell it. And if you don't like the way I'm telling it, you're absolutely welcome to start your own podcast. Actually, a couple people have tried that before. Anyway, now, while I have your attention, there's one more thing we need to talk about. I've seen comments from people talking about going out to Little Bethlehem to look around and explore. Please don't. Look, I understand why you're curious. I'm making an entire podcast about the place, so clearly I understand the fascination. But Little Bethlehem is private property. Private property. People actually live there. Those are not abandoned buildings sitting in the middle of nowhere waiting for TikTok explorers. Officers regularly patrol the property because we've had problems with people coming onto it. Think about how you would feel if strangers walked into your yard, started taking pictures, and tried to get in your house and your buildings because they'd heard an interesting story about your family. Please don't trespass. Don't break into anything. Because if you do, Walton County's finest will do something about it. And when I say finest, I mean that because I have personal friends there and they are great people. Look, you don't have to sneak onto the property to find out what happened there because I'm going to tell you. And for those of you who have been following the videos and rumors lately, or for the past 50 years, trust me, y'all really don't need to make anything up because the actual story is interesting enough. And there is a lot to tell. And guess what? I'm going to tell it.